this rhythm. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.
Woo! What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below. And as we get rolling here tonight, guys, some shout outs have to be given, but to some brand new people, because guys, it's a brand new week, right? A turning of the leaf, a changing of the guard,
and also almost like we're at the brink of a new season, league year here, as free agent frenzy began today. Even though nothing's official, most of these are not official until Wednesday afternoon. But yes, it all started today. There's a poll up there. You know, we didn't do that much. We want to know what you guys think on this first day of tampering day one, I guess you can say. As you can see, we signed nobody. But we'll talk about it all in detail, because where were the Joneses at? You can see, you get a little preview, a little hint is on that screen. Baby.
I was just about to say, someone joked saying, oh, you know, they're on spring break too.
Yeah, they're just chilling. And there's business to be done. You know, that's the way the Cowboys run their organization. But that doesn't feel like our team when they run it like that. Anyway, we'll get into this in a little bit. Answer the question, the poll question up there, and hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. I also want to shout out those that run the boards. Starting a new week. A lot of similar names, especially during the week. But McLovin, he is the Cash App King 5 weeks in a row.
Woo, showing the love.
Big shout out to him. Hell yeah. And he was the sponsor week for 3 weeks in a row. But he got curtailed. He got cut off by the man, for part of the fam from an OG here, the brand man, Jeremy Bramlett. You can see him as the stream boss with 43 points, but he's also our sponsor of the week. Much love to him, his family. Appreciate the love dropped. And also, he's the gifting champion as well. Fought off a skeptical fan for the three-peat, and he took over. So Jeremy Bramlett has 3 out of the 4 spots on our board. Stream boss, sponsor of the week, and the king. And the gifting champion. But who are the leaders kicking off a new week? Well, there's no gifting leaders. It's just night one here. But there are some other guys here to shout out, like pre-stream-wise. Dwayne Broussard dropping that 5 on it.
That's right.
$5 holler. And what did he say, baby? You have that?
Yes. He said, these idiots sitting on their hands like always. Here we go again with this BS.
Here we go. That's Dak said.
Yes. Now it's starting to really come clear what Jerry meant by all in,
right? So much love to Dwayne Broussard with the $5 holler. Also, Jason Ruffalo dropping $1.02 holler, in the Cash App side and the Go Cowboys, a little pre-stream love. And Tammy Soltis before the stream, back in the Navy Blue crew. So much love to you when it comes to the membership side, the Navy Blue side of things. Thank you guys. And speaking of that, there's a lot of different ways to drop the love and show the love here and help the channel out on the nightly. As you heard, the super chat, as you just saw, Dwayne Broussard.
Yeah.
You have the gifting of the memberships, but also, of course, just jumping in the memberships like Tammy Soltis did on her own. You could also, of course, gift them through. Once you're in the membership, you can gift them, but you can also hit the thanks button on any videos that have been posted already. But there's 4 ways you can affect not just the overall board, but McLovin's crown as the Cash App King. Baby, can you explain those 4 ways?
Of course, you have the Cash App money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at my-cowboys-family, the regular PayPal link, and of course, last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
That's right. So a lot of different ways to show the love. And speaking of the love, you got the navy blue, silver, and then the star and over everything. Those are the 4 levels we have here. As you can see, there's a monthly jersey raffle that we do here for everybody. That's automatically in the star and over everything level memberships. But now we have a new thing. So Jeremy Bramlett, since he won last week, the majority of the boards, he now is going to get entered into this raffle at the end of the month.
That's
so
right. So
there's another way of getting in here, right?
Go. He's got an entry. But of course, on the regular, our star and over everything members, are always in that raffle to win an authentic, like Stitched In jersey. And you've seen us rep our own,
Cowboy
all
Mosh.
sorts of players, styles, sizes. So whether it's for you, the family, and everybody in between, we know
Players,
you'll be happy.
There's OGs, there's Hall of Famers, on and on. So of course the new players too.
Yes.
But we also got to shout out the specialists, the stars of our membership. That's the star level, and of course the over everything. That's top shelf right there. Who are the names, baby?
Thank you very much, Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Andy Potts, Marissa Sparkle, Dwayne Broussard, The Lunatic, and Over Everything. C. Bass.
Yes, appreciate you all. Thank you for the love and the support, and whichever way you do it. Now, kicking off a new week, and we're already in the middle of free agent frenzy. Even though nothing's official, all of these are official when Wednesday hits, and some of them are even official now. We'll go through everything on the day. I'm going to hit most of these contracts because they are all Dallas relative, basically. They're Dallas adjacent. But of course, we're going to talk about our own guys here, too. So, baby, before we even get moving here and grooving, who's in the house, schooling us on our Cowboys?
Let me see. Tokyo, what's up? Saying Cowboys did a great job this free agency. Yes, with the laughing emoji. Rolando Rodriguez, much love all the way from South Texas. Asmodeus in the house. Stephen White, much love. Matt Batten representing. James Herr, hello and hi. Jera Jones there, breaking down the cap for us.
I'm interested that he's here, not on a boat. Oh, wait. Well, we'll talk about that.
Let me see. Texas Twister, what's up? We have Stephen White representing. C. Bass in the house. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself. Choctaw Montana 808, much love to you. Jason Renfro, of course. Lone Ranger Sheriff, what's up?
By the way, Jason Renfro, he dropped a $1.75 holler in the Cash App. Still in third place on the overall board, but he's first on the Cash App right now. Much love to Jason Renfro. He said, "Yo, Cowboys."
Ooh. Thank you. Let's see, we have Asmodeus representing Texas Twister. Stay safe out there on the road. Eric Wallace, hello and hi. Let me see. I think, yeah. Sergio Acosta. 808 Cowboy 77. Let me see. I think that's everyone here for now. So with that said, baby, like you kind of said, we have a lot to touch on tonight. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut and let you speak on, the moves of the day. What's been happening?
Well, a lot of things happening.
The last 12 to 24 hours in the NFL.
Well, again, as we know, we talked about it in detail last night about what the Cowboys are probably going to be doing, and it probably wasn't going to be much, especially day one. Yeah, that's kind of what's going to happen here. Again, get your votes up there on the current thoughts right there. Yeah, on our poll. But before we get there, when it comes to rookies and guys going to enter the draft, which obviously the Cowboys are going to look deeply at, the Pro Football Hall of Fame today requested Xavier Worthy's cleats and his jersey from his record-setting 4.21 40. That's 4.21 second 40 time at the NFL Combine. That's the record at the Combine. So that's what they're putting it in the Hall of Fame. It'll be memorialized in Canton, Ohio now.
Very cool.
Yes. Free agent frenzy beginning today because, again, here are the rules of today. So you guys understood how this goes today and tomorrow. Starting today at 12 noon Eastern time, teams can begin engaging with agents. As we said yesterday, this is the tampering window, the 2-day tampering window. Deals can be agreed to but never finalized. No deal can become official until after 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Teams can speak to players who represent themselves without an agent before Wednesday at 4 p.m. This was a recent change, by the way.
Okay.
And jersey swaps are also allowed. When you'll see the jersey swaps on the app. But players can still change their minds. So again, when you see somebody in a new jersey, you're gonna see them in this is a player that we just got. Nothing's official until after that 4 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. Wednesday 4 p.m. Eastern kind of official marker where you can start signing them on the dotted line, and instead of just speaking with them in a handshake agreement. So keep all of that in mind. Before we can even get there, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. I know it's not in the title. Kind of late little kind of breaking news, but a woman has accused Dak Prescott of sexual assault. Now, let me explain it, guys, because this woman, she's now being accused of a $100 million extortion plot against Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott. A woman is accused of making a fake sexual assault accusation in an effort to try to extort $100 million. Dallas Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott. This is according to a lawsuit filed by Dak's legal team today. The lawsuit, which was obtained by Lone Star Live, was filed in Collin County, and it says, "quote Mr. Prescott, a new father to a baby girl, has great empathy for survivors of sexual assault." That's what this is through his attorney Levi McCartham. In a written statement, and he continued by saying, quote, he fervently believes that all perpetrators of such crimes should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. To be clear, Mr. Prescott has never engaged in any non-consensual sexual conduct with anyone. Lies hurt, especially malicious lies. We will not allow the defendant and her legal team to profit from this attempt to extort millions from Mr. Prescott. So, again, this alleged assault, which you're just hearing about it now with this filing, right? We never heard about this beforehand.
I was going to say, usually it's more the other way around, right? Like that initial case is the thing that we hear first, and we kind of hear the details.
Interesting that Dak's beating it to the punch, right? We're
finding out about this on the opposite, right? Yeah, Dak's, pardon the pun here, but Dak's going on the offensive and, making some things happen there as far as trying to settle this
get ahead of
legal situation.
Yeah, I think he's trying to not even settle it. He's trying to get at this person that's fucking.
Well, that's what I mean by settle it.
Yeah. Well, it's not like just selling, saying I'm not guilty and walking away. It's like, I'm gonna fuck with your life now. You try to fuck with mine. So
you're trying to publicly call me out as an assaulter.
Yeah, sexual assaulter, and then trying to get just the extortion attempts, right? So this alleged assault, according to the lawsuit filed by Dak himself, happened in the backseat of an SUV in Plano, Texas, in February 2017. We're talking about his first year as a rookie. Now he's entering his second year, and this happened like in the Super Bowl time frame there. The alleged extortion occurred roughly 7 years later, this February 13th. So this happened, something happened, right? Back in February of 2017, and then now the extortion was occurring now. Basically, she was asking for money. So the lawsuit includes a letter sent from the woman's representation to Dak Prescott. Basically, again, this is what it says there. She has to live with this pain and trauma for 7 years. It affected her relationship with her fiance and her everyday existence so much that she had to attend therapy and counseling and will require future therapy and counseling. She has suffered mental anguish that is unimaginable, dealing with the trauma of being a sexual assault of victim. That's what it says here. So that's the letter from the woman's representation.
Yeah, it sounds like that was a typo, so great job there.
Yeah. The letter from this woman's representation said that she is, quote, willing to forego pursuing criminal charges along with disclosing this information to the public in exchange for compensating her for the mental anguish she has suffered. So she's saying, I'm going to tell this to everybody after 7 years ago, right? I've been living with this torture and this sexual assault, and I'm going to tell everybody about this, disclose the information to the public, or you can just pay me for the mental anguish I've suffered. So this cost included in the letter. It was said in the letter she wants $100 million. And Dak, again, guys, was given a deadline of February 16th to respond. So this happened on the 13th. The 16th, he had to respond. But he got in front of this, guys. The woman and her 2 attorneys were listed as defendants in Dak Prescott's lawsuit. So basically, he's using her own lawyers to basically, prove her claims 100% not only wrong, but she's liable for this. The lawsuit also claims the woman's actions in this incident after the years that followed are consistent with consensual actions. So again, he had sex with some woman in an SUV back in February 2017.
And
but
you know what? I don't doubt it. Dak was young, single, and on the Dallas fucking Cowboys. So yeah, he was probably getting some pootie tang out there.
But now, 7 years later, as he gets his big contracts, he's gonna get another good. She's going for the gold here. So this is the thing that Dak's side said here. Quote, the fact that Mr. Prescott did not hear a single negative thing about this supposed interaction from nearly a decade ago is truly telling of the defendant's motives. So they reached out to the woman's attorney for comment. Didn't hear anything back from them. The Dak's lawsuit also alleges that the extortion as well as the defamation of character, slander, and other things. Dak, 30 now, he's going to be 31. Has been the Cowboys starting quarterback since 2016. This was his second year, right? Just got that, just finishing up his 4-year, $160 million deal. Now he's going to schedule for another big deal, right? In the lawsuit, Dak is seeking $1 million in damages. The lawsuit also said all financial damages recovered from the lawsuit will be donated to the Joyful Heart Foundation. So he's not keeping it. It's just going to a foundation. And
this is not like...
I don't think anything
I think
from her,
it's more that just makes it clear that obviously this is not
doing it for money.
Personal gain in any way, and let's be real, the likelihood of actually collecting anything close to $1 million from this person,
it's not going to happen.
Unlikely.
It's the principalities. It's the point. And I'm with Dak. Look, one of our friends here, Rika, remember Rika? On the girls' night, we had the ladies' night once here. She found the fact that this lawyer, his name is Yoel Zehai, and he's a lawyer that bashes Dak on Facebook over and over again. Did this 13 weeks. 13 weeks later, tries to help this woman to extort $100 million from Dak Prescott. He went to Lake Highlands High School from Dallas, Texas, and he said, this was a quote, an example of what he said: as an objective Cowboy fan, I hate delusional Cowboy fans like Dave, I guess the person he's responding to, who don't hold Dak accountable. Dude is garbage, point blank, period. So he's talking shit about Dak. And then, 13 weeks later, he's like, "Oh yeah, I want to sue you too." It's like an angry fan, like a Dak hater that now wants to sue Dak, try to get him out of the Cowboys or something. That's how crazy this story has gotten. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about this in the next coming days. But I'm glad Dak's in front of us. I'm full blast in support of Dak as far as the facts are right now. What do you have to say about this? And after you give your thoughts, I'll hear from the chat on this real quick. It's kind of serious, but what's your thoughts, baby?
I mean. Sorry, I was actually reading the chat there.
Well, what are the thoughts about the Dak situation? Just
generally. I kind of said it earlier. You know what I mean? Of course, Dak went on the offensive here. And I thought it was specifically poignant that he mentioned, as the recent father of a baby girl. You know what I mean? They obviously are, kind of showing, Dak is for not just that, but Dak is for the ladies. He's not, against the ladies in any capacity. So Seabass said this is another example of someone Michael Irving repeat in a way. And again, just the fact that Dak was able to file a countersuit and do all this, and the fact that, like I said, this information hadn't been publicly known until this point. Let's be real. If this woman had anything even close to a case, we would have heard about it in some capacity, right? There would have been some kind of a police report. There would have been something. So it doesn't sound like that's there. Plus, your comment about the fact that apparently, the lawyer was, a lifelong Dak hater at this point too. I'm just saying, it just feels like whatever their motives are, it definitely does not sound like justice seeking is their motive, unless they're seeking to, find their justice in Dak's wallet.
That's the only. That tells me what they're doing. It's all about that money, honey. By the way, speaking of a little dollar holler, the man Jason Renfro trickling in some cash money through.
Thank you, Jason.
The Cash App side of things, moving again, still at the same spot on the board, but he's still first place in the Cash App side. So much love to Jason Renfro, as he said, "Yo Cowboys."
By the way, so Seabass is saying, of course, you know, when Dak got paid and is about to get paid again, you know, young man was doing his thing, you know, but basically, like, it's not a coincidence that when he's about to go get, like,
paid
his
again,
next set of
they're
money,
coming for his money.
This is when they're trying to come at him, right? Matt Batten said, "We live in a sad world nowadays.
Yeah.
Do better and please try to make the world a better place for all of us."
Agree. So, I mean, I think we're all...
James Gary said textbook 101 extortion at its finest. Like, yeah, it's like how to extort for dummies.
I mean, she literally, like, the way they're mentioning it is like she basically gave all the information about the extortionate plans she had in her letter to Dak. So that's the proof right there. Lawyers know this, both sides, you know, that's why they're using her own lawyers against her. So it's going to be, it should not be a very long case situation. I think Dak's got this one won, but it's still something he's got to deal with here in the offseason.
Yeah.
You know?
So, as Modi said, even I admit that the Bill Cosby situation was a little different. It's not like we have 30-something women coming out saying, Dak's out here saying them and doing this, that,
Bill Cosby literally put fucking, freaking Quaaludes in their drinks and fucking rape them. I mean, that's just, we know that. Dak, never has had that happen, never did.
Partying.
He's a party. Listen, he's banging some chick in the car. Single guy, top of the world.
So, Tokyo, we're definitely going to talk about the illegal poacher Dan Quinn. Just kidding. Perfectly legal poaching, but still. Yeah. Anyway, Sarah said she would have got more money if this lady claimed that I assaulted her. Yeah, you see?
Exactly. She's going for the wrong people.
Fruit.
Yeah, she got to go for Jera. Listen, I appreciate everybody's thoughts on this, but, I think this is just Dak standing up for himself. I'm happy he's doing it. And, more power to him. Of course, if we find out something in this video or something and he did something, that's a whole different story. But obviously it seems like it's 100% extortion. She's coming for the money, and it's 7 years ago. I mean, come on. Anyways, that's a Dak situation. As we move away from, I guess we'll keep Dak for a minute because Brock Hoffman, who might be our fucking starting center, joined some podcasts here recently, a couple of different ones, and spoke about Dak Prescott. He better start rooming with them because he's the guy up next, and Tyler Biadasz. We'll talk about him in a minute. But Brock Hoffman said, quote, "I've never been around, honestly, a better leader and a command of an offense in my life. When he talks, everyone listens." When he's talking about Dak Prescott here. Another little fact I wanted to say about Dak Prescott and his contract is actually kind of can be mixed in with this guy right here, Derrick Henry. Yeah, let me explain. Derrick Henry, guys, again, if the Cowboys do show interest, and right now Derrick Henry's still out there, he's still available, King Henry. But if the Cowboys do have interest in him, it could jumpstart things with Dak Prescott's contract, possibly.
True.
The reason is they share an agent, Todd France. So Todd France is the connection between both these guys. If you're talking to if the Cowboys are talking to Todd France for Derrick Henry, then the Dak stuff could be coming up a little bit more.
How does that not naturally come up at some point?
It seems like it should. Yeah.
Todd France, like you said, he represents both of them.
So the Cowboys, and I'm going to tell you right now, guys, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but the Cowboys, according to Jane Slater, said that it's unlikely the Cowboys will pursue Derrick Henry.
Oh.
As of right now. And they added other guys in there, like Austin Eckler, who's off the market now, and other top running back free agents. So the Cowboys aren't looking for a free agent, a big time name. You know what was said by Jane Slater about the Cowboys and what they're looking for at running back? Quote, "Opportunities within our means." Opportunities within our means. You guys know what that means, right?
I've been broke.
That means Kyle's show.
I was about to say, I've been broke a long time, and I know what that means. It means you're a broke ass bitch.
Yeah, and
at least pretending to be one, because we actually know how much money you have to spend, Jerry.
Well, right now it's like $2 million, but we know with a couple little waves of the pen and a couple restructures and a couple cuts and a couple extensions, we got $30 million, $40 million, $50 million. So the Cowboys don't want to. I said this last night as a joke. But the clown show never jokes because they're saying basically, hey, we only got a little bit of money to spend. We can't afford any big name guys.
Not just saying, I only have $50 in my checking account, but you have like $1 million in your savings account. Like,
exactly. It's the same. That's what they're
transfer.
They're playing games. It's the clown show, and I'm not surprised. That's why I voted on that poll. Not surprised at all about what the Cowboys are doing. This was initially you're like, oh, maybe an all in. Then you hear them walk it back, and you're like, as soon as they started taking the first step walking back. It was over. There was no way the Cowboys are going to be a big spender or go quote unquote all in this free agency or off season, whatever you want to call it. So when you look at these things, the Cowboys are looking for running backs within our means. That means cheap. And I'm going to tell you where that number is going to lie because I found out something before we went online that man, I mean, the Cowboys, I don't know if you can get any cheaper than what's already been signed out there. So, again, the thing
They
is
need to
this.
play for free.
There's also interest in Derrick Henry, but not by the Cowboys. The interest that's coming for Derrick Henry, it seems like it's the Ravens, even though with that RPO situation, Taylor Lewin speaking his part about his issues with that, it seems like that's the most realistic connection right now. But an agreement has not been reached. So before we get into that, let's talk about the agreements that have been reached. And it hasn't been any of our fucking Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of Cowboys, a lot of our players, I think 16 of them, right, that are free agents officially out there and can get signed. So some of those guys, I'm going to tell you all these guys, special teams, CJ Goodwin and Trent Zieg, who's a long snapper. On offense, Tony Pollard, Tyron Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Chuma Edoga, Rico Dowdle, and Sean McEwen. On defense, Stephon Gilmore, Dorrance Armstrong, Jonathan Hankins, Jordan Lewis, Jaron Kearse, Dante Fowler, Neville Gallimore, and Noah Igbehamane. So these are the 16 or so guys that we have there available for other teams to pluck off our team. We have not re-signed anyone except for one guy. And, you know, I'll go through them in a minute here because you already know who we re-signed. We already talked about this the other day. Now, who do we lose? Because you look at our thumbnail, guys, you know the answer. 3 guys on that screen with a big X on them. That's number 92, Dorrance Armstrong. That's our defensive edge rusher, a rotational half star. He started in the past, but he's a rotational edge starter, rotational edge depth player we have there. Tyler Biadasz, the starting center, connection with the offensive line. The rest of the offensive line makes the calls and connects with Dak for the last 4 years. And then Tony Pollard, our starting running back last year, and really 2 years in a row. Let's be real. I mean, Zeke was here, but he was the guy getting most of the touch at the end of the year. All 3 guys officially not on the Cowboys, and I'll get to the other side of this picture in a minute with Jerry and Stephen Jones. But either way, let's talk about the guys we lost them to. Which teams took them, and 2 guys went to Dan Quinn. Yeah. So you look at our tracker here. Boom. No additions. The only return to the Cowboys is defensive tackle practice squatter Carl Davis.
No. Put some respect on that future starter, right? I'm fucking with you, baby. That's my point. Like that's
what
Cowboys
Jerry Jones
will
will say.
Guy, like Carl Davis.
He's better than Hankins. He's better than Hankins, even though he's a practice squatter. Anyways,
I had to make my little joke. I'm sorry.
The departures, you see, 2 of them are on going to Washington. 2 of them are also on offense. So first to start on defense, Dorrance Armstrong closed the deal with the Commanders. Again, the Commanders have $73 million in money. I said when Dan Quinn leaves, some of our players are not going to want to deal with Zimmer.
Yeah. And
the asshole that he brings he brings an asshole attitude there from his side of things. He's very hard on the players. So all these guys are like tippy-toeing over where the money is, and Dan Quinn likes them. You come on down to the Washington Commanders. So, yeah, guys, he reunites with Dan Quinn, Dorrance Armstrong, his buddy, his pal. Dorrance Armstrong's terms at Washington. Listen to this, baby. 3-year deal. He could get a max of $45 million for Dorrance Armstrong. Now, look, $45 million is the max. I know he's not going to get close to that, but that's a lot of. I don't give a fuck if you love Dorrance Armstrong. There's no way you're going to pay him that much money if you're the Cowboys.
That definitely seems like way more than whatever the Cowboys might have had in mind to pay.
Yeah, it just makes no sense in my mind. But hey, Dan Quinn, I guess he's had a plan for him. I don't know.
We talk a lot here about the pie's a lie and all this stuff. We admit we can't make $70-something million worth of pie appear out of nowhere. LS Momo 55.
Hey, welcome to the family.
Thank you for summing it up.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, you get my point though?
Yes, I do.
We've definitely got pie to spare and
right.
Can give out slices to anybody we like for the most part. Well, but yeah, like I said, we don't have $70 million worth of
I'm
pie.
glad we don't have Dorrance Armstrong though for that price, for that cost. So that they can have
I
him.
don't disagree.
Now, Dan Quinn also bringing in a familiar face on offense.
Okay.
And that's the big one there. Center Tyler Biadasz going to the Washington Commanders with Dorrance Armstrong. So they signed him.
Obviously, heard the writing on the wall.
Yeah. He said, you know what? Why stay in Dallas and deal with this shit? I can go to get paid. Well, how much did he get paid? Because we talked about him $7-8 million at most, right? But first, Jason Renfro dropping a little love here, a $2 holler. And by the way, I think at this point, let me see, 1, 2, 3. He is in first place on the overall board with that drop, breaking the tie in second. Now they got a second place tie. What did the man have to say, baby?
Sorry, my Mavs dismantled your Bulls, 127-92.
Yeah, I know my Bulls aren't that good. right now. It just, it is what it is. The Mavericks are good. I don't mind the Mavericks, doing their thing out there. Just not, I was hoping it wasn't against my Chi-Town Bulls. But hey, I'm a fan of the Bulls because of Michael Jordan and before he won a championship. So that's where my love for the Bulls comes from, and they happened to win 6 after I watched them for 4 years not winning anything. So now they're not winning anything again. It feels like the Cowboys. I don't know. Either way, much love, Jason Renfro, even if your fucking Mavericks beat my Bulls. Anyways, so going back on this, we got Tyler Biotish now following Dorrance Armstrong, but how much would you have paid for Tyler Biotish? He got a 3-year deal worth $30 million. Basic math there. $10 million a year average.
I mean, like I said, that's definitely a little bit more than what I think, not like me personally, I wouldn't have paid that, but it's definitely more than whatever the Cowboys would have wanted.
Oh, yeah. The Cowboys never would have paid that, and I wouldn't have either. I'm going to be honest. So,
again, glad he got his bag. Glad he's, going to be happy there in Washington. He's going to be crying at least 2 times a year.
Biotish allowed pressure with the Cowboys. Last year, 4.8% of the time, he allowed pressure when it comes to pass blocking. That was the 4th best amongst all centers. The Commanders' centers, they allowed 7.5% pass rush against them, pressure. Again, that is the 6th highest, 6th worst in the NFL when it comes to. So they needed help at center because pressure was too much coming from the interior. So they got Biotish, who's really good at pass blocking from as a center. So that was their reasoning, I guess, for grabbing him and to me, they overspent on Dorrance Armstrong. They overspent. I mean, they're paying Dorrance more than they're paying Tyler Biotish. So to me, they overspent on Dorrance Armstrong. They overspent on Tyler Biotish. And again, I could go about other names right now, but I'm going to actually stick with Tony Pollard to the Tennessee Titans, which is, a guy we talked about literally yesterday saying, hey, he could be a guy the Cowboys are really interested in to coming back.
He supposedly, the word out there was that he would be open to maybe taking a pay cut to come back to Dallas. But like we said, we don't even know if we want him back. Like, what number?
Well, the Cowboys were interested in him, but we don't know what the numbers are going to be. We're thinking, 4, 5, maybe 6. Pollard agreed, that's per year.
Yeah.
He agreed on a 3-year deal worth $24 million. We're talking about $8 million a year for a running back, Tony Pollard. So, again, I would not have paid that much.
Yeah, if that's the quote-unquote cheaper price or whatever, or even close to it, then yeah, that's more than what I think Pollard is worth as far as a production.
Especially if we split time and don't use the running back as much. With the way McCarthy's been using the offense last year, you can't afford to put $8 million on a running back. You just can't.
Yeah,
so.
now Tennessee is in a similar position in the sense of like, okay, if they're going to pay Pollard all this money and he's going to be their number 1 running back, then they're going to have to use him as such.
Yeah, and they have another guy. I forgot who the other guy they have in there as a number 2. But that means Derrick Henry ain't coming back to Tennessee. That's the point.
Which we, suspected, but this does come.
But the Ravens do look at Derrick Henry, and the Cowboys don't seem to look at Derrick Henry. Now, just a little background on this Tony Pollard thing. The Cowboys were all in on him, believe it or not. They were trying to sign him.
Okay.
But the fucking Joneses, they lowballed him. You know this. The Cowboys trying to sign Tony Pollard. The Giants and the Vikings were also eyeballing him.
Okay.
Kind of seeing, but he took the bigger payday with the Tennessee Titans. So the Cowboys probably offered him like 6. He went with 8, and he said, "Fuck you, Dallas. I'm going to Tennessee."
Good for him.
Hey, remember, guys, he played for Memphis in college, so this brings him back to familiar surroundings. So now Rico Dowdle's a free agent. We officially lost Tony Pollard. We have Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, Snoop Connor, and fullback Hunter Lipke. Those 4 guys are our running backs right now. That has to change. And now we don't have we let Tyron Smith test free agency. Tyler Biotish is gone. We got holes to fill, guys. Starting holes to fill. That ain't good. That don't make me feel good at all, for sure. I'm worried about this. And yeah, we'll have to see what day 2 brings and day 3 brings and down the line. But man, not a good start here as far as losing guys and kind of not making any moves. Oh, Drums and Cowboys in the membership. And why is that, baby?
That's because Jason Renfro
Woo.
showed the love and shared the love with a gifted membership.
Much
Thank you so
love.
much, Jason. I appreciate you. Congrats there, Drums and Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Drop him if you got him.
Drop him now. Yeah, you got him. And by the way, you know what that means? Not only is Jason still in first place, of course, but now he's in first place when it comes to the gifting membership board. With the first one there dropped. Jason Renfro.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. No, I'm saying he is currently on first place with one gifted membership on the overall gifting board. Yes.
Yeah, and I think he's in first just overall.
Yeah, he's got first in this Cash App, first overall, first on the gifting board. Jason Renfro right now, early, showing out. Jeremy, the only one holding that down with 40 points on the Stream Boss, the only other new name on this new week list. So appreciate you, Jason. Much love, and go Cowboys. So we have only these 4 running backs right now on our roster. Mm-hmm. We know we're gonna draft a guy. We're gonna probably sign a guy cheap, right? But these 4 guys remaining, Vaughn might be cut. Deuce Vaughn might be cut eventually. Lipke, both these guys, you know what they combined to run for? 59 yards combined last year. Those are our leading rushers now. Mm-hmm. Snoop Connor and Malik Davis, they haven't touched the football since August preseason. So we have under 60 yards combined from our running game right now for our running backs. So shitty fucking. We have no running backs right now. So from the Cowboys' perspective, though, and you think you talked about this when it comes to spending money at the running back spot, the Cowboys' vantage point, it is perfect. The financial reset at the running back position is almost complete because you're paying $6 million for Zeke. That's your biggest pay right now is Zeke. So $6 million, you get $6 million dead money on Zeke, and you're getting, you have these other guys that are basically league minimum or practice squad guys. No more Pollard. Rico's still a free agent. Rico Dowdle. We'll have to see what happens. But I will say this: now that Tony Pollard is with Tennessee, and Biotish and Dorrance Armstrong and all these guys are moving on, guess what I expect next year for the draft? A lot of comp picks. There's going to be some comp picks coming down, especially the money that Dorrance Armstrong, he got the most money, I think, Dorrance Armstrong. Pollard got $8 million. Biotish got $10 million. I mean, all these guys got enough money to hit us with a 4th, 5th, and 6th comp pick next year.
Which is the only good thing about this, I guess.
That's the only good thing. That's the only good thing. But the Cowboys are currently not expected to be at the top of the running back compensation. When it comes to the running backs in the league and trying to get a good one, the Cowboys are not fucking around in free agency with a running back in this free agent market. Okay. Even though there's a whole lot of them, at least not yet. I think the Cowboys are waiting until there's 1 or 2 left, and then they'll go pick up the cheapest guy. That's what I think they'll do. The Cowboys are expected to continue to survey the market, but only to their price range. That's the key here, price range. So, and of course drafting, which we know they're going to do. They're going to take a running back in this draft. So when you look at our tracker, that's the moves of the day. Carl Davis been done last week. Mm-hmm. We lost Pollard, Armstrong, and Biotish today. Even Micah Parsons' brother spoke out. He said, quote, "One thing the Cowboys won't do this year is have me believing we actually going to do anything like make an NFC championship game. I promise y'all won't hear it from me." End quote.
I mean, he's obviously feeling some type of way.
Listen, Micah's dying to win.
We've had a lot of Cowboy family members speak out this past offseason so far.
It's getting frustrating there in Big D, unfortunately, and the Cowboys caused this shit. Now, the last part of this little interesting information, where the Cowboys, I want to make sure you guys understand, as you can see, there's no additions. No additions. No one added to this list. If you look here on the left of your screen, what the fuck are the Joneses at? I mean, I know Will McClay and others are handling the phone calls and all that shit, trying to make deals, but where's Jerry and Steven, the owners, the GMs? Where the fuck are they? Well, I'll let you know where the clown show is. They're clowning around. Because right now, if people were checking on where his boat was at. His Bravo Eugenia.
Tracking the yacht.
The yacht. Yeah, his yacht. And his yacht right now, guys, is in the New Providence area, Nassau, Bahamas. He's just taking a stroll here, chilling out on spring break. Now, again, I want to make sure everyone understands that the boat is out there. Don't mean that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are on the boat. Okay. But his boat is out there in the middle of the fucking Bahamas, where he goes every fucking time during spring break and during this time frame. It almost always happens. What the fuck, Jerry? Remember last time when the free agency was going on during the
ability to go anywhere in the world and you just go back to the same place over and over again?
Well, you do remember when it was COVID, right? And where was he during most of that COVID, especially starting free agency? He was rolling around Alaska, going throughout the whole planet in the water on his yacht.
Yeah, basically isolating.
Yeah, he isolated on the yacht. So once again, important times going on for the Cowboy front office. We got to make some moves. He says we're going all in. Yeah. The only thing he's going all in on is his yacht. Just saying. So I don't know where he is, but I know that we didn't do any moves today, and we lost a couple guys that we tried to talk with at the at the combine. Some of their agents, like Biadish. It's a loss across the board here for our Cowboys. So unfortunately, that's not good. So what is the next thing? Well, we're going to talk about. I want to hear what the chat has to say actually about the Cowboys side of things, and I'm going to talk about the players that are now. A lot of the guys we talked about the last 2 months are gone. And I want to know what you guys think about the pay on this. I also want you guys to vote on our poll question. So go ahead, baby, hit up the chat.
Like a puff of smoke.
Yeah.
I do want to start by addressing one quick little point here, guys.
Of course.
Obviously, we have such a news and an information-packed stream. Yeah, you're right. We're not able to read the comments in the chat as much as we normally do, which does suck because, hitting up the comments of the chat and chatting with you guys is one of the better parts of doing these.
But again, in these live streams, this is when we have to say, if you want your comment read, you gotta drop a super chat or something so we can see it and it stands out. Because without that, we just have too much stuff tonight to go over to read every comment. So we will touch on a couple.
Exactly. So, by the way, take a second here. McLovin said, "I seen them on board when I drove by on my jet ski."
I hope you're joking. I hope you're fucking joking. I think he's joking.
McLovin is not riding a jet ski throughout the Bahamas.
I don't know.
And if you are,
I don't know.
Then,
he may be, but I know that he likes to fuck with us. He likes the Dolphins, so he could be spying on Jerry and Steven. I don't doubt it though. If you spotted them, it ain't a surprise to me. It's typical front office.
So let me see. Real shit, even you. Hello.
Boo.
What's up? Rolling through here. Ready Red said 1.21 million. Oh, okay, sorry. Thought that was a money point there and not a
well, real shit wants to stick around
point.
Because real shit, you're going to want to stick around because I do have the NFL moves today. It involves your Steelers, too. Actually, I started off with that.
Oh, and this Skeptical fan, much love. But yeah, again, we are always down and willing to answer, and we always respond to pretty much every single comment.
Try
and
to.
Stuff like that. So if you do leave a comment on a video, we'll get back to you
Oh,
eventually.
yeah, comments. I don't know if I comment, but I see them. I like them, or I give them a thumbs up only, or I dislike it. I give you, and sometimes I do comment on it when I get a chance.
So Matt Batten said, Dallas Cowboys are in a sad spot. Jones don't care about us, and it's sad.
I agree. It makes you hate this fucking front office, which I've been
Danny
saying
G
for
said,
years.
I think the Joneses have checked out. Again, they're worried about making money and branding over winning.
Yep. Yeah. I can't deny that. I cannot dispute that. By the way, Skeptical, I saw the clown show faces there in the comments. I loved it. Don't worry, hit the love. Go ahead. I'm sorry, baby. Yeah, I agree.
No, just how many times does someone have to show you who they are before you believe them?
So many people want
Jerry and Steven has showed us repeatedly over and over again what they're about when it comes to the way that they run and manage our team.
Yeah.
So
when you have Dak Prescott and everyone wants to blame Dak, so let's say we got out of Dak's contract. We have $60 million now. Mm-hmm. Do you think they would do any? Do you think the Cowboys front office would make any kind of moves that are going to make you say, "Yeah, that's a great move"? They're going to get Biadish back and Dorrance Armstrong back and Pollard back. But you guys, we don't be bitching about that. That's what you're going to get with Dak Prescott not being here, and that's the best you're going to get. You're not going to get all those big name guys that we were all excited about. Maybe the Cowboys going all in on. That ain't happening with Dak Prescott, without Dak Prescott, with money, without money. It don't matter. The Joneses just don't use that money. And they do it their stubborn way to kind of, I think it's for negotiation purposes to show like we don't have that much money to negotiate, so we got $2 million sitting here, take it or leave it. That's the kind of way these fuckers use. They work. And other teams are doing, we'll give you the money you hopefully will earn and deserve, and then some of these teams do win Super Bowls while we're sitting here 28 plus years. The thumbs up our ass.
So. Oh, by the way, McLovin is our Cash App king, correct?
McLovin, yeah. McLovin
I just want to take a second to shout that out, of course. Just like the way the stream boss is the membership gifting king, is your sponsor of the week, Jeremy Bramlett, the brand man.
The brand man, repping 3 of the 4 boards. McLovin, 5 on it. He's got 5 in a row on that Cash App. Weeks in a row. Right now, Jason Renfro's in the lead. But, McLovin usually brings it doing our after dark sessions.
That's right. So, anyway, handing things over to you now. Ready, cracking me up.
So, now, as we look at this, we see what happened there. What is going on in the NFL side of things when it comes to moves? What about players that we are interested in, or we discussed or talked about price comparisons when it comes to, what is that called? when you start to compare, what it costs for a center, what is a center going for, what's a tight end going for, whatever they're going. So, by the way, I do want to say I don't want before I leave this screen. Another player might be going to Washington, the Commanders. Another player might be going to Dan Quinn, and that's Jordan Lewis.
Well, goddamn, they're going to take the whole team at this rate.
He, of course, can play the slot. Familiar with Joe Witt Jr., who's there, and Dan Quinn, who's the head coach. So it sounds like the Commanders have shown a lot of interest in him. Going to see what happens with Jordan Lewis, but don't be surprised tomorrow if Jordan Lewis is on this list with a big W next to his name.
Yeah.
So just want to throw it out there. Now, let's get to this free agent frenzy that's going down right now in the NFL. We're at. Cowboys are on a boat right now. That's the way they're on a fucking on a yacht. That's what the Cowboys are doing right now. So that obviously is a very disappointing side from us. But we can't stop the rest of the league doing their the rest of the league's going to do their things. The players are going to sign their contracts. So let's catch up on that. Let's go. I see real shit in the house. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson going to sign a 1-year deal with the Steelers. It's going to pay him around $1.21 million.
Great deal for the Steelers.
$1.21 million. So that is the league minimum for a player of his experience level under the CBA. The reason why it's so cheap, why? The Broncos are paying him $39 million, minus whatever he makes from the Steelers. So, yeah, they're paying him $37.2 million or whatever, $37.8 million now, and the Steelers are paying $1.21 million. That's it. Great deal, real shit. I definitely like that deal for you guys. Still got Pickett there.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens as he fights for that spot. Now, we also know Chris Jones. Excuse me. We know that Chris Jones, who from the Chiefs defensive tackle, signed a deal with them, got the tag, and then signed a deal. The numbers came in for his. Some of you guys wanted him. Well, it was never going to happen. He got a 5-year deal for $158.75 million. That's the base. It also includes $101 million in guarantees. He gets a $30 million signing bonus. The first 2 years are guaranteed. As far as 2026, base salary guarantee in 2025. So it comes down to a $31.75 million a year average. It's the highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL.
I mean, that is
there was never a chance for us.
Crazy.
Yeah. There was never a chance for the Cowboys to go grab Chris Jones, just so you guys understand. That just even if that was something that, even if I really wanted him to bring it, there's no way we're gonna pay $31 million to him. We gotta pay what, $35 to Micah soon? So that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, we talk about centers. The Jaguars signed the Bills' freshly cut center, Mitch Morse. All right, so how much is the center going for, a starting center for the Bills, now with the Jacksonville Jaguars? 2-year deal, $10.5 million. So a little over $5 million for a center. A center of his quality.
I was going to say, that is honestly not that bad. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, a starting center.
Personally. But for a starter on your O-line, $5.5-ish million. Yeah, that. I don't know. That to me seems really solid, especially if you had told me, hey, bring back Biotish for that amount of money.
Oh yeah,
I
of course.
Done it in a heartbeat.
I agree. But Biotish is a higher level than this guy, according to most sources. So again,
so he obviously is going to command more.
$10.5 million for him, 2 years, $7 million guaranteed of that. He reunites with Doug Peterson, who was his offensive coordinator with the Chiefs.
Okay.
So that's where he moved to Jacksonville. The Lions. Offensive line agreed to terms with guard Graham Glasgow. Some people were saying he might be coming to Dallas. Well, it ain't happening. He's staying in Detroit. A 3-year deal worth $20 million. Your thought? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. That's why 3-year deal, $20 million at $9.5 million in guarantees for, again, a starting offensive lineman, a starting guard.
Again, similar thoughts to my previous ones. That's not bad, considering you're getting a starting guard.
It just depends on what people think Glasgow is. Is he that good? Is he not? Where's his worth? The Bengals, they franchise tagged wide receiver T. Higgins. Today he requested a trade. He loves Cincinnati, wants to be reunited with the team long term, but is disappointed that they don't have any long term contract extensions since, I guess, since last year at this time. Okay. March 2020, the last time they spoke about things. So he said he's ready to leave and go to a new home. That's his viewpoint there. Hey, you know Greg Zuerlein, right?
Yes, we do.
He's the Jets the last couple of years, and the Jets re-signed him again. So obviously he's working out for them. We got Brandon Aubrey, he's working out for us, but he signed a 2-year deal worth $8.4 million. So $4.2 million a year for him, a nice pay raise for a kicker. Eagles, they made a move today to secure one of their offensive linemen, Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson. Instead of leaving, he's staying in Philadelphia, agreeing on a 4-year extension, $84 million base salary, so about 20-something a year, $21 million a year. Again, he's like if we were starting, again, some people are saying this is like the Tyron Smith would be below this number. Still, $20 million is a lot for Tyron Smith, right?
That's why, again, when we first heard that, whatever talks, brief as they were, happened between Dallas and Tyron's agent, we're like, damn, like why so pissy? Well,
this is why.
Maybe the picture is coming together, because as much as I love Tyron Smith, yeah, those are pretty intense numbers, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, this deal for Landon Dickerson, he gets $50 million in total guarantees, $20 million signing bonus, the highest paid guard in NFL history now at $21 million per year. Again, we're not talking about tackle, we're talking about guard.
Yeah.
So a $21 million guard is why he's now officially the highest paid player at his position in history. Now, another guy that people were saying might come to Dallas at wide receiver, Colts. Well, again, until he got tagged. Michael Pittman Jr., he got a deal today. That placeholder was there enough to make a deal. Got a 3-year deal worth up to $71.5 million, $46 million guaranteed. So big money there. Again, coming to Dallas, I think not. That was not going to happen. Now, DeAndre Swift went from Detroit, and Stephen Jones didn't know who the fuck he was. Went to the Eagles last year, for a 4th-round pick. They used him for 1 year. Let him go to free agency. The Bears agreed to terms with him today. Chicago Bears signed DeAndre Swift on a 3-year deal worth $24 million a year. Again, a Tony Pollard deal. So, again, you're seeing the Pollard, DeAndre Swift kind of player, the quicker, speedier kind of guy. You see what they're going for there, about $8 million a year at running back.
I was going to say,
higher than I thought.
You can also see maybe why the Cowboys decided
to stay out of it.
They don't want to be, the only one, that, like you said, it's been kind of, I don't want to say confirmed, but, the word is that the Cowboys are not seriously pursuing Henry. And that's, besides him and the one other guy, that's the only 2 running backs that the Cowboys have even vaguely, tangentially been maybe linked to, even in a gossipy way, outside of like possibly bringing back Pollard, which, like we said, obviously that's
out of the question
done.
Now.
So
after what happened, him signing with Tennessee.
Obviously the Cowboys are doing their own thing as far as what their plan is for the run game, and I do think you kind of nailed it on the head when you said it the other day. This seems like the Cowboys are going to draft a guy rather than find and sign a guy that's already out there and available.
And again,
and of course, they could change their mind, they could do something different, but as of now,
they're going to do both, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because, well, you'll see why in a minute, because the prices are going down for running backs quickly.
I know, but let's be real. Like, yes, I'm not denying that we won't grab some kind of free agent running back, but that's not exactly the move that people wanted to see. You get my point? It's not like, let's do fan service here or whatever. It's more about, hey, like, let's get a more high caliber free agent. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, let's all manage our expectations there. Like, yeah, of course we're going to sign a free agent running back, but he's going to be a scrub, very likely. That's, to put it respectfully. So
that's the way it usually goes with the front office, right?
It is unfortunate that is a true statement.
I just wish the Cowboys don't have to go for the big name and the big money guys. They just got to go for the smart guys, and they're getting plucked up. But hey, you know what? That's why the Cowboys wait this first day. Who falls through the cracks of the guys the Cowboys going to target a little more?
Yeah,
that's why I'm not.
Settle.
That's why I'm not saying that the running back stuff is out of the question, because still a couple good guys around we talked about, and the Cowboys did show some interest in another guy we're going to talk about here as we get towards the end of the show.
Okay.
So I'll get to that in a minute. But
real quick, I do have to take a second here.
Yeah.
Shout out. We have Calvin Richards with a $5.
Oh, there it is.
Dollar holler.
He got
but
$5
he's not
on
the
it.
only one.
Oh, shit.
Mr. A. Lavelle said,
jumped
hold up,
in
wait a
front.
minute. I've got a $20.
Woo.
Dollar holler.
Tony, the last time we're going to say that, I guess. We can't really say it anymore. A formerly known Tony Pollard holler. Much love, Mr. Lavelle. Appreciate you. We'll see what the new number 20 is. But with the $20 holler, he takes over first place on the overall board. Jumps in front of Jason Renfro, who's in second. Dwayne Broussard, Tammy Soltis, and Calvin Richard are all in third place.
Ooh.
Much love.
You know what Calvin
to you
Richards
guys.
had to say?
Hit me up with both of their comments.
Think Emmitt Smith still wants to play. Should be pretty cheap, like the Cowboys like.
Exactly. Cowboys like the cheap players. They'll take the old guys, the broken guys, don't matter. Hey, legend like Emmitt, he ain't doing that anymore. But yes, I get what you're saying. Cowboys are going to be, we've been saying this for years on here. If you've been following us even for 2 years, you know we've been saying this. But if you've been following us for 6 or 6.5, you know we've been saying this shit from the jump about our team. It's not anything new for us here. It's just frustrating.
Yep. Now Mr. A. Lavelle with
Yeah.
his formerly Tony Pollard holler. He said, "What's up, MCF and MCW? What's
up?
good? Everyone in the chat, and I hope everyone is safe and healthy."
Yes, you too. And you and yours, Mr. Lavelle.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Dak is a scapegoat. Forget
Correct.
the Joneses. Let's go, Cowboys.
Well, I want to forget the Joneses. The problem is we can't because they're making the freaking moves that are seemingly it almost, listen, I'm going to talk about this as well. It almost seems like it's a rebuild year. The way this is being rolled out here to start off with, after saying weeks ago, all in. It's like Bizarro World. I feel you, brother. Thank you, A. Lavelle. Thank you, Calvin Richard. And Jeremy Bramlett down to 35 points on the Stream Boss right there. By the way, I think Calvin's hit the Stream Boss, but Mr. Lavelle's didn't hit. It would have been down to 15 right now.
So kind of blocked it out.
Yeah, but Calvin Richard, Mr. Lavelle, much love to you guys. Says Jeremy Bramlett still hangs on with 35 points in the Stream Boss. So as I continue here, guys, DeAndre Swift going to the Bears, 3-year, $24 million deal. Career year with the Eagles, I guess you can say, is best of his career. But still some questions about him. Overall, they're paying the $8 million at Tony Pollard price for him. Now the Bills, they're signing they have a 3-time Pro Bowl left tackle named Deion Dawkins. He is officially signing a 3-year deal with them, an extension, $60.5 million. So you're looking, $20+ million a year for a left tackle in Deion Dawkins. The deal is expected to make him the 4th highest paid tackle in the league. And I'm sorry, this is the guy you want to look at as kind of the Tyron Smith comparison, because not comparison, but Tyron Smith will be under this number, which is about $20 million a year. Again, I don't see Tyron Smith getting anywhere close to these numbers here with his injury background. On the other side of the ball, former Dolphins defensive tackle, top name in this free agency, Christian Wilkins, signed a 4-year, $110 million base value deal, which includes $84.75 million guaranteed. He signed it with the Raiders. So Christian Wilkins going from the Dolphins to the Raiders. You have former Texan pass rusher, Jonathan Grenard, signing a 4-year deal, $76 million, going with the Vikings. $42 million is guaranteed. So another linebacker out, a receiver from the Buffalo Bills, Gabe Davis, agreed a deal to be traded. He went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3-year deal. To me, a little bit too much money for him. Gabe Davis, I don't know if he's proven. He's going for a 3-year deal, $39 million. So
they obviously believe in him.
So yeah, with incentives, he can get another $11 million. He can get up to $50 million on a 3-year deal. That is a lot for Gabe Davis, in my opinion. The Jets, they had a free agent guy, defensive edge rusher Bryce Huff, one of the top pass rushers. I haven't even heard of him too much. He signed a 3-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh.
The Eagles are adding to that pass rush. $51.1 million deal with the Eagles. Once free agency opened, that they made this deal pretty quickly. The deal is making Huff one of the highest paid non-quarterback undrafted. He is the highest paid non-quarterback, undrafted free agent in NFL history.
Oh.
The key there is the undrafted part and non-quarterback. So,
It
again,
just sucks to see the Eagles,
Yeah.
unfortunately making moves to
Yeah.
improve their team, and that's one I actually am
he's
a fan
you
of.
got to remember
Not
something about him.
You get my point.
He's a pass rusher specialist, almost like a better Dante Fowler. But even though he's really good and as one of the pass rushing stars of the free agency, definitely the Eagles landed one of the top edge rushers. But they're also trying to ship Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat to get rid of these edge rushers they currently have. So they're really recycling them trying to get draft picks back for them, the guys they've kind of paid big money to, and then trying to trade them for a pick or two. So we'll see what happens. Now, one of the bigger, we're going for some of the big names now, the Giants, running back, Saquon Barkley, now former Giants running back, reached an agreement with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles he's going to an NFC East rival. He signed. So what do you think about this deal? A 3-year deal, $37.75 million to $38 million on a 3-year deal, worth up to $46.75 million with incentives, includes $26 million fully guaranteed at the signing. So $38 million for a 3-year deal. What do you think?
I mean, that's, again, overall not that bad when you break it down. What's that average to?
Yeah, like 12, 13 million a year. That's 12 million, 11 and a half, 12 million a year.
Okay.
So what do you think?
I just said that's not that bad.
So Barkley was going to go for like 10, maybe under. Now he's getting 11?
I mean, hey, I'm happy about it because it's the Eagles overpaying for him. But again, I just think that Saquon Barkley wanted to take advantage of the fact that he could turn around to the Giants and basically flip him the bird.
Well, they're going to pay him twice. They're going to play him twice this time around. We'll see if the Giants take that. Barkley, he now beats the franchise tag number that he was assigned and has a maximum. Now, this is the max he can hit. He's probably going to hit 11 to 12 million a year, but he can hit a max every year of $15.8 million for a running back.
Yeah, that's where it starts getting a little bit stupid. But the one thing I'll say, and you kind of pointed this out too when we talked about the Tony Pollard numbers and things like that, it seems like the running back market is maybe, I don't want to say resetting itself, but yeah, like it's obviously being slightly more highly valued currently because a lot of these guys are getting paid more than we generally expected them to end up with. And it's not like it's crazy amounts, but it is that like $1 to $2 million more.
And on top of that, I think also when you look at, I think it's at the top you have the more expensive running backs, but as soon as you get to the mid-level guys, it drops a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're one of the top guys, you're going to get more than you were kind of supposed to get. If you're anything else,
you're going to get what you expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the reason I say that it's not that bad, again, you're basically paying, I know it can go up to 15, but you're basically paying more or less like $1 million more a year for Saquon, who, as long as he stays healthy.
Then who?
Then what, Pollard, right?
No, Pollard's getting 8, baby.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was getting like 10. Sorry. My mistake.
Yeah, Saquon was
we
supposed to get around 10.
a lot of numbers tonight.
Saquon's got to get around 10, what we thought he got 11 and a half. Plus, when you have the incentives, it goes up to 15 possibly. He might get 12, 11, 13, 14. But he's getting 11 and a half pretty much no matter what. The point is
it
that...
does make me wonder what kind of number Derrick Henry is expected to get then. If he's
let me
still
keep it
one
going because
available.
there's still more guys to go here. I got a long list tonight, baby. So and you'll know where we're going to land on this because we still got some big names that got to get signed at running back, like Josh Jacobs. So the point I'm trying to make is that Saquon, who I believe the biggest issue about paying him this much money is the injury issues that he has. He will not last the season with the Eagles, in my opinion. So either way, this would be the second highest running back deal in history if he hits the $15.8 million, the max on his yearly ability there. Now, the Falcons, this is a huge deal for the Cowboys. The Falcons are signing Kirk Cousins, quarterback Kirk Cousins from the Vikings, to a 4-year deal worth $180 million. That includes $50 million signing bonus. This man is the highest paid player in the history of the NFL, I think. A monster payday once again for Cousins. He gets $100 million guaranteed. He gets $90 million in 2024. He gets and in 2025, and another $10 million in 2026.
I wish I could be that overwhelmingly average
my
job and get paid more than anybody else. Like, how does this man keep doing it? Who are his agents?
He has a fresh start in Atlanta at age 35. So
crazy.
It's insane to get those numbers. He hit them, and the Falcons are paying it. So they're rolling with him for 3 years as he gets ready to end his career there. The Packers. And the reason, but let me go back for a second. The reason I got to say about the Vikings, because Trey Lance now becomes an option again. Remember, if they lost Kirk Cousins, the Cowboys now have a tradable piece in Trey Lance. We might get a 3rd or 4th rounder, possibly, for him. That's important there.
Because of the overwhelming lack of anything today from our Cowboys, it makes me believe that, not only is that move more likely, the Cowboys are going to jump on it in a heartbeat because we basically have the equivalent of like 5 draft picks. And the Cowboys, of course, if we're not going to do shit about free agency, well, that really only leaves the draft, doesn't it?
It hurts. Or a trade, I guess. We don't have much to trade, no.
So I'm just back to putting all our eggs in a singular basket.
You like that. That's what, Kirk Cousins now is with Atlanta, getting paid very much. I'm sure he loves it. the way he's going to get paid his whole career. Washington, Minnesota, and now Atlanta. So, former Packer guard John Runyon today reached an agreement to go to the New York Giants. They're trying to upgrade their offensive line. $30 million deal, 3 years, $10 million a year. Offensive lineman, solid guy. $17 million guaranteed at signing. This, again, guys, I'm just trying to show you an idea. Some of these names attached with the price tags. Every guy is going to be expensive pretty much here nowadays. Now, here's one that's weird to me. I'm going to put this asterisk next to this name, Patrick Queen, who's a linebacker of the Cowboys. We've talked about maybe you can get, he's going to be like 13, 14 million. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, he's agreed to follow his former defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald, to Seattle. I haven't heard the numbers on it yet, so I want to put that on the back burner. But supposedly, the inside note here is Patrick Queen has agreed to a deal with the Seattle Seahawks, the first of the Ravens currently to follow former Ravens defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald to Seattle. So we'll see what happens from that. Now, another important one here, guys. This was important to the Cowboys. I guess I'll save that one a little bit here. The Vikings signing Minnesota native and linebacker Blake Cashman, I think formerly of the Houston Texans. They got a linebacker now, off-ball kind of linebacker, 3-year deal, $25.5 million. So I don't know if you do the math, but it's about a little over $8 million a year, $8.5 million a year. It's a big deal. He played, in the Minnesota area, so he's kind of back home now. And then the Carolina Panthers giving former Dolphins offensive guard Robert Hunt a 5-year, $100 million contract, $63 million guaranteed. So much money just flying around today. Again, this all becomes official on Wednesday. What about former running back from the Washington Commanders, Antonio Gibson, signed with New England on a 3-year deal, only $11.25 million. So you can see now, you're taking someone like Antonio Gibson, he's getting a $5.3 million of that fully guaranteed, but 11.25, he's basically solidified for like a year there. With when you divide that into 3, what are you getting? Like $4 million a year, maybe $3.5 million a year. So again, not the guy I would want to see in Dallas, but just an idea of where these numbers fluctuate when you drop past a certain point. The Texans, they do sign, I think, former Detroit Lion cornerback or Falcon Jeff Okudah, who we really liked as a cornerback. The Cowboys were maybe looking for a deal. I think he got traded to the Falcons. He got a 1-year deal with Houston for only $4.75 million. So again, that's a starting kind of high-value guy. The Texans made a move on him. He could be a starter in that mix. They're a good depth guy. The Cowboys maybe should have went for someone like him to kind of solidify that. What if we don't get Gilmore situation? So Jeff Okudah now, he's injury-filled issues. $4.75 million deal, 1-year deal with the Texans. Now, the Packers, more moves from them. Free agent safety Xavier McKinney, formerly of the Giants, signed a 4-year deal, $68 million with the Green Bay Packers, $17 million per year average for a safety. So again, Xavier McKinney getting banked there after being, not re-signed by the Giants. The Texans also signing Denico Autry to a 2-year deal, $10 million. So it's $5 million per. He's a defensive tackle. You're talking about inside defensive tackle to stop the run. Nose tackle type of guy. $5 million a year. So you see where we're sitting with this, that's something I'm hoping we can get a player in that interior defensive line for that kind of range. That'd be nice. What's up, Calvin Richard, once again with that 5 on it. Ooh. And he is in second place, I think. No, he's in third place all by himself right now. What did Calvin Richard have to say, babe, with that $5 holler?
Did I hear correctly that Jerry Jones is on vacation on the first day of free agency?
You heard, his boat was on vacation. I don't know who was in it, but I'm going to...
All in.
There you go.
Thank you, Calvin Richard.
That's all in. That's the all in from the... Cowboys going all in means Jerry Jones got to take a vacation doing free agency. That's what that means.
Well,
wow, it hurts my balls.
Expect him to work so hard from the comfort of the star, do you?
No,
the multi-million-dollar building erected in Jerry's honor, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, yeah, I get it. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, the seats there, so cheap.
I want to I want to make sure we give everybody a chance to hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. Let's do the usual, because we do have 70 something in the
Yeah,
house.
of course. So let me take a second to hit up some of the comments here, right? So, real quick, and Matt Batten, no one's gonna rag on you just because you have a negative opinion. Trust me.
Oh no,
there's lots of
used to
negative
that.
opinions here, so it's all good. AL said, breaking news: Dallas still hasn't signed anyone. The disrespect that these owners show their fans, we should boycott their asses. Well, we're definitely back on the, let's call it old school MCF days, right?
Yeah, we are
Got
not
gear
going to
for
go to
years.
game. Yeah, we got gear for years. No need to buy new gear from Jerry. We'll get gear from
Yes.
Cowboys Mosh. And we got our own stuff
the
here.
The final game experience was obviously showing our kids and taking
Yes.
them to their first one, but,
That was one of the fears, that the Cowboys go the wrong route and we'd never be able to go again,
Right.
I see the man, Mark Hovsepian, in the house, though, baby. In the house, welcome and aloha to you. The all-time sponsor of the week winner there, the streak winner, 15 in a row. I see it on my side. He's about to drop a $1-2 holler.
Yes, it is.
What did the man say? What is he going to say?
Who did we sign? I know most of who's left.
0.0, sir.
We signed Casper the Friendly Ghost. We signed a new vendor for AT&T Stadium.
Let me show
Jerry
you.
signed a Netflix contract or something else
And
but
last week,
the Dallas Cowboys did not sign.
last
any
week we
players.
signed Carl Davis, the practice squad guy.
Oof.
Last week, nose tackle. Hell yeah.
That's a future starter you're talking about there, baby. Put some respect on
as you
that
can
name.
see, probably will be. As you can see, Mark, Tony Pollard to the Tennessee Titans. We talked about it already. Dorrance Armstrong to Washington, along with Tyler Biadasz, following Dan Quinn. Jordan Lewis sounds like he's going out there too. We'll see what happens. There you go. There's that 1-2. Jordan Lewis is going to go in and take his $2 holler. He's going to take his number 2 and take it to Washington. It's because Dan Quinn is their buddy, and Dan Quinn's Washington Commanders have $73 million of cap space. So they'd rather not deal with Zimmer and his tough ass, and then go to the guys who's their buddy, Dan Quinn. And that's what it comes down to. Our Cowboys, and I don't know if you heard this earlier, but I'll give them a quick recap. The Joneses' boat, their yacht, is in the Bahamas right now. Literally tracked this afternoon there as the deadline, as the free agency started, the tampering portion started. So they're chilling on a boat while we're losing our players. Starters here, except for Dorrance Armstrong, but he's a rotational piece. All these guys, though, the guys I just showed you that we released, way too much money for even my liking for the Cowboys to have signed them for those dollars. Dorrance Armstrong, what, $12 million? You had Biadasz for 10, and you had Pollard for 8. That's just too much for me in my mind. Appreciate you, Mark. Got you up on that board. Jeremy Brown was down to 28 points on the Stream Boss. So let me continue this. The rundown of the players out there that are now ripped away from us, so to speak. The Giants, they're improving. They're the Giants, Washington, and the Eagles have making moves. We just sit on our hands. Giants are giving former Texans running back Devin Singletary a 3-year, $16.5 million deal worth up to $19.5 million. So you're getting $4, $5, $6 million there, possibly a year. Now this is a guy I really wanted. Grover Stewart, defensive tackle from the Colts, a guy I've talked about so much. Doesn't matter. Colts are keeping him. They're re-signing him. 3-year deal. $39 million. So now you're looking, I'm thinking 39. You're talking about over. This is like $13 million a year. The Cowboys aren't going to pay that much money for him. Bengals are signing safety Geno Stone to a 2-year, $15 million deal, $6 million signing bonus. You got the Cardinals signing cornerback Sean Murphy Bunting from the Buccaneers, former second-round pick, to a $25.5 million deal, 3-year deal for them. So again, it's like a prove-it deal there. Now, look. I'm going to get to one running back here at the end of this thing. But the Giants, they extended early. The Giants extended Dexter Lawrence for 4 years, $90 million, $59 million guarantee last offseason before he reached free agency. So by doing this, they keep their player, Dexter Lawrence, and they made room on the salary cap. The Giants, they're doing much more all-in work there than the Cowboys are. More moves out there. The Raiders signed quarterback Gardner Minshew to a 2-year, $25 million deal, $15 million fully guaranteed. Big money for their potential 2024 starting quarterback with the Raiders. He's going to be Aiden O'Connell going into his second year. Niners, they're going defense again, signing defensive edge rusher Leonard Floyd to a 2-year, $20 million deal. That's $10 million a year for a pass rusher. And that's your basic pass rusher numbers now for a rotational guy like Dorrance Armstrong, which basically that's what he would have been. Now, what about Frankie Louvu? from the Panthers. We talked a lot about him. Now he's a former Panther. You know why? He's going to Washington with Dan Quinn. They're stacking up some defensive players. Frankie Louvu now, a top name from our list, is with the Washington Commanders. He can't cover, but he covers the field. He covers the field as far as the run stop and pass rush. So keep an eye on him. He got a 3-year deal at Washington with the maximum value of $36 million a year. It means $12 million a year. We said he'll be about $10 to $12 million. Exactly right on that one. And I knew the Cowboys would not sign him. They're just not going to sign. And that's why I'm trying to tell Mark in the past. Oh, speaking of Mark, dropping that 5 on it. The $5 highlight by the man Mark Hosepian. As he's slowly but surely moving up this board. What did the man say?
What? Fucking asshole. We lost a bunch of players I really did not like that I thought we could improve on. And
we got worse.
No one.
We got
it
worse.
Totally makes sense.
We literally got worse from the guys you wanted to move on from. This is why I always say we might as well just keep our guys, because I just don't trust this fucking team. This team will never. We have money. We have money from Dak.
I think the problem is it's more the fact that we know that if we don't make an effort to re-sign our guys, we're basically getting no one. So you either keep the slightly mediocre guys or the guys who maybe can't quite get it fully done, or you get, whatever
done.
the heck. Yeah, I was going to say, you get nobody. The bottom of the barrel scraps, if there is any, if you do try to do something. So,
yeah, I'm not a big fan of, the Cowboys not already. We had a lot of holes already. Now we got more holes. After 3 guys lost, we got a depth.
I know that excites Jerry, but come on.
Those glory holes. We now have a rotational pass rusher hole, which we knew was going to happen with Dorrance Armstrong. We have no running backs. And we have, no center, Brock Hoffman, an undrafted practice squatter. That's who's going to be our starter right now. That's unacceptable in my book. In my book, at least. Oh, we got Queenie with the Canadian $2 holler.
Ooh.
I see you, Queenie. Probably see you later tonight on the After Dark session.
Sure.
What does she say, Ole, from CA?
What the fuck is this BS in here? How did I trip up here? Well, because you're Mr. MCF's #1 fan, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, joking around. Thanks for the $2 Canadian holler, Queenie.
Yes, we'll be meeting about the convoy later and telling you how crazy that shit is. Anyway, it's not about that. This is about the Cowboys, not the convoy. So we're gonna keep it that way. Appreciate it, Queenie. Got you on the board, as I know you couldn't wait to represent here the Navy Blue Silver too, and that star over everything. So, just looking at some other players here, defensive tackles, right? Maurice Hurst, Browns player there. He's re-signing with the Browns. 1-year deal, $3.2 million. Now we're getting to this is like, I can see maybe the Cowboys making a move on a guy, maybe $3 million, nose tackle and inside, maybe. Maurice Hurst is staying with the Browns. Now, what about, do you remember the name Chidobe Awuzie? I know you do. Of
course.
Former Cowboy. He got a 3-year deal today from the Tennessee Titans. I know that Titan Anderson's happy about Pollard, and now another former Cowboy, Chidobe Awuzie, formerly, of course, he came from the Bengals, but he got a $36 million deal.
I mean, good for him.
What does that come out to? Like $11 million? No, $12 million a year? 3 year,
3 years, yeah.
3 year, $36 million with 23 guaranteed. A few teams were actually looking for Awuzie. I think.
I didn't realize he was playing at such a high caliber to command that type of money, I guess.
And the guy who signed him is, of course, he was the Bengals offensive coordinator, and now he's in Tennessee. Kind of like a Dan Quinn thing, going from the other side, going to get Biotish.
Okay.
He's doing that from the offensive side. He's grabbing a defensive player in Cheeto. Well, you knew him there, right? Saying he's helping. He's helping set the culture, which is funny because Cheeto was part of our culture here that we can't get right. Other teams get it right. So
yeah, where did he learn that culture setting?
Not with us in Cincinnati. It sounds like. A trade happened today. The Panthers, they wanted to try to maybe move Brian Burns, so they did, right into the NFC East. The New York Giants. They now have traded for one of the top pass rushers, one of the most underrated pass rushers, Brian Burns from the Panthers. Mm-hmm. So now, remember we talk about Brian Burns a lot in the past whenever we played the Panthers? Yeah. We're going to talk about him twice a year now because he's going to be there. They got the Giants' defensive line has gotten, their team sucks, but their defensive line is just one of the best, I think, in the NFL. So keep that in mind when we play them. If we're able to overcome them, they might not have a great team.
They're going to be carrying the whole team.
Yeah, that defensive line is the shit for them. Right? So, yeah, he lands a 5-year deal with the Giants worth $150 million max with $87.5 guaranteed. This is Todd France, by the way, which is Dak's agent. Carolina sends Burns to the Giants. Listen to this. They trade Brian Burns to the Giants for a 2nd and a 5th round pick. Burns is the second highest paid defensive edge rusher. But here's the key, though. You know what's crazy? A second and a fifth for Brian Burns 16 months after the Panthers turned down 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick from the Rams for the same guy. By waiting 16 months, they literally lost 2 first-round picks from him and a second-round pick. Instead, now they get a second and a fifth.
Oh, again,
Ow.
That's what happens when you sit there and twiddle your thumbs and you're not sure and you
hear,
wait to
Jerry?
make a decision and then you get forced into making one.
You hear that, Jerry?
So you make the same decision but worse later.
Exactly.
By the way, huge shout out.
Who is that?
Thank
Who
you
just
very
dropped
much,
it?
Mark
Oh,
Hosepian.
there he is, jumping
Another
over.
mahalo to the man,
Yeah.
Mark.
He just jumped over Calvin Richard into third place on the overall board. What did he have to say?
Actually, I give him an A++++ for trying to get the first pick. Oh, we have Malik. Oh, well, where's the pick? I can see Skeletor and Son smiling and rising them.
I see this. This is what I see, though. There's father and son saying, hey, we're just chilling while free agency kicks off. That's what infuriates the fan base. At least show us something different. Jerry, you can't hide. You cannot hide from us. Anyways, appreciate you, Mr. Marco Sepian. 17 points left for Jeremy on that stream, boss. So the Giants, again, they traded away Leonard Williams and then acquired Brian Burns for basically the same comp that they traded away Leonard Williams. So they basically replaced Leonard Williams with Brian Burns and paid him, paying him a lot more, of course, than they paid Leonard Williams. So a great move of the Giants, in my opinion. And they are, I don't know. I mean, to me, the Giants are being very aggressive. The Eagles are being aggressive. Washington's being aggressive. The Cowboys are shitting the bed, doing nothing. And I know we expected something like this. We expected this bad. I mean, the Giants lost out on Saquon. The Eagles got Saquon Barkley. You know what happened afterwards? Tiki Barber from the Giants, former Giant running back with a Super Bowl ring, said, quote, "You're dead to us, Saquon. Good luck. You're dead to me."
I mean,
harsh words there, right?
I told you
going to a division rival, that's what happens.
Like I said, it's one thing to go to any other team. Going to a division rival is personal. He is absolutely
saying fuck you to New York.
The Giants a big old middle finger.
Well,
maybe 2 birds.
Yeah, 2 ugly green eagle birds. But Saquon responded. He said, quote, "You've been a hater since I got to New York. And all the dead to me talk, don't smile in my face when you see me." So that was Saquon. There's some hate there between the Eagles and Philly now. Now the Titans didn't stop. Another center. It raises my ears up. It's like it's like antenna. I'm like, center? How much are they getting paid? The Titans deal with one of the best centers. They signed one of the best centers in free agency, Lloyd Cushenberry. Sounds like a weed. Anyways, some marijuana. This deal with Cushenberry is for 4 years, $50 million. So you're looking at, that don't sound that crazy, but I guess it is. I guess it's like $17 million a year. I don't know. But it sets several records for the center position. Now, this is the high, guys, signing bonus over $18 million. That's the highest ever for a center. Fully guaranteed $26 million and first year cash $20 million from him. A big investment to help the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans. What about running backs? Austin Eckler, a guy on our list, kind of on the second level. He got paid today by the Washington Commanders. Washington and Dan Quinn.
Oh, boy.
He got a 2-year deal worth up to the max 11.43. So about $5.5 million, not bad at most for Austin Eckler. See, now I'm getting into the Cowboy range. To me, this is Cowboy rangeable. I don't know, but after 7 years, he has 69 touchdowns with the Chargers. He now has a new home in Washington, so we got to prepare for a new running back now for then. Now we go back to linebacker. Another linebacker off the board, baby. This is where it gets frustrating because Seahawks linebacker Jordan Brooks, a guy high on my list, agreed to terms with the Dolphins on a 3-year, $30 million deal. He got exactly what I say he was going to get, $10 million a year. I know the Cowboys are not going to pay that, but here's the catch, baby. Here's the catch. Remember Azeez Al-Shaair?
Yeah.
Tennessee Titan, linebacker, off-ball guy. We talked a lot about him in the last couple of months. He got signed today with the Houston Texans. So we just did the work for Mr. Esai Harrell there. He's, again, former Titan, of course, but he used to be with the Niners. Now he's going to Houston, where D'Amico Ryans used to coach him in San Francisco. He's the head coach in Houston. So you have that
connection there,
yep,
too.
That's why he went there. So, you know what they're signing him to? Now, you tell me what the Cowboys would have done. Azeez Al-Shaair got a 3-year, $34 million deal.
Okay.
So we were talking about $7 million a year for him. All right? he got like $11.5 million a year.
So again, there's another player at another position that ended up getting, I think, more than we were initially expecting.
Much more.
Do you think that all these, and obviously early days, do you think all these kind of early initial contracts getting a little bit more than we expected have anything to do with the cap being much more than teams expected? Because I feel like that's a direct correlation, right?
I 100% agree that the higher cap causes, some higher contracts, but you're seeing some of these numbers are not that crazy high. That's all I'm saying. So to me, like when I see, some of these running backs getting some crazy numbers, but then I also see some of these running backs getting some very manageable numbers, like Austin Eckler, and other guys like running back. I'm talking about linebacker. I'm surprised that Al-Shair got a 3-year, not 3 years, but a $34 million deal. We're talking about over $10 million a year, and the expectation was $7, maybe $8 million. So that's a surprise to me in a big way. And again, I can't blame the Cowboys for not signing him, because that to me would have been, we got to pay over $11 million a year for him, right? Yeah, those are stupid. It's just way too much. But we need to get someone in there. To me, Eric Kendrick's still floating around. He's not been picked up. He's the guy I would target at linebacker. But Cowboys, they might have to look at offensive line as well. The Patriots re-signing versatile offensive lineman Michael Onwenu, one of their cornerstone players going forward. A 3-year, $57 million deal, $38 million guaranteed. A clear priority for the Patriots to get their offensive line going. He gets $22.5 million signing bonus. The Seahawks going offense here, tight end Noah Fant. They're trying to re-sign him. They are going to re-sign him to a 2-year, $21 million deal. He's only 26, gets a big payday. Dolphins looking at a center, former Titans center Aaron Brewer. He got signed to a 3-year deal worth $21 million. There you go. That's the expected $7 million kind of range. But Biotish got 10. So, just kind of throw it out there. There's not a lot of centers that are going to be worth free agent-wise, I think, in my mind. It's got to be a draft. It's got to be Barton from Duke. The Patriots have agreed to terms with a backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. He gets $8 million as a backup for a one-year deal for him with the Patriots. The Seattle Seahawks, they're getting, again, the Giants kind of traded away Leonard Williams. He's a free agent. The Seahawks are closing in on a deal with Leonard Williams. One of the top interior defensive linemen in the free agent class is going to Seattle, looks like. And they're getting him back for a 3-year. I mean, they're not getting him back, but they're signing him to a 3-year deal averaging $21.5 million. So, again, a guy probably too expensive with the Cowboys to worry about. A guy I really liked as a backup plan, Jordan Hicks at linebacker from the Vikings. Signed a 2-year, $8 million deal with the Browns, only $4 million a year for linebacker Jordan Hicks, which I think is a guy that we could have definitely had made, I don't know what the Cowboys are going to use the money for, but he seems like he's a attainable linebacker.
Again, it seems like the Cowboys have something else in mind. Draft picks.
Well, as I kind of roll to the end of this here, there's a couple very important factors here I got to bring up, and it's going to be relative to the Dallas Cowboys here in a moment. Let me start off with the Bengals, who agreed to terms today with a guy we talked about in one of my favorite lower level mid running backs, Zach Moss. The Bengals signed him today, 2-year deal, $8 million. All right, so what is that? $4 million a year.
Yeah.
Right. The deal includes $4.525 million in the first year, who cashes in after showing what you can do when you're, in the absence of Jonathan Taylor last year with the Colts. And of course, I think it was with the Bills then afterwards. I think so. No, he was with the Colts. He took over there. So again, he's a guy I really like for the Cowboys to make a move for. He's $4 million. This was about what we said he would be. $3 to $4 million, right? And he got $4. So what the fuck are the Cowboys waiting for? $1 million running back? Because when I looked into this more, baby, the Cowboys it's official, the Cowboys were in the mix. They were in the running. They were trying to sign Zach Moss, which is the guy I kind of pointed out. This is a true target for the Cowboys, more realistic than a Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys were reading my mind. They wanted Zach Moss. But the price, here's the killer. I'm going to scream. The price extended past their comfort point. $4 million is not enough for a solid fucking running back that's going to be taking, it's going to help your offense and Dak Prescott. What the fuck are the Cowboys thinking about?
The dollar menu's been gone for like almost 5 years. Get with the fucking program.
Yeah, it's called inflation, motherfucker. Learn it. So, I mean, again, listen, the Cowboys looked at him, due diligence, and said, oh no, $4 million a year is just way too fucking much.
Yeah, we really draft the guy for $5.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? $4 million is as cheap you're going to get here for a solid starting running back. That's it. The Cowboys looking for $2 million? I mean, we're looking for totally, even worse in the past, the bottom in the barrel. We're scraping the bottom now. The Cowboys are waiting to scrape. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Your guesses out there are as good as mine. That's why it's frustrating. That's why there's some anger. I still expected this bullshit, but it's still frustrating, guys. Let's be honest. So, again, congrats to Zach Moss, I guess, but we blew that one once again. And the last kind of thing before we finish up with the Cowboys side of things, there was one other move made today by one of the top running backs with Saquon Barkley. The other guy was Josh Jacobs from the Raiders. And he got signed by a surprise move. Surprised everybody. Shocking, a stunner. To the Green Bay Packers. What the fuck? The Packers have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, although he's probably leaving. So what's going on? They signed two-time Pro Bowl running back Josh Jacobs to a 4-year, $48 million deal. You have to do the math for me. That's like $12.5 million or something like this. So they're getting him on a big-time deal there.
That's quite the commitment, too.
And so, again, guys, the Packers, big money on a big running back there, right?
I guess Aaron Jones is now playing second fiddle.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's $45 million, but the fully guaranteed portion it got up to $60 million.
Oh, God.
Running back. So, again, that's a lot of money for a running back, in my humble opinion. And what happened? What was the fallout from that? Because at the time, a lot of people were like, well, A.J. Dillon's gone, which we know he's a free agent, and that's a guy that I think I'll talk about him in a minute. But it was like, what do we do here when it comes to the running back situation? Guess what? The Packers, they released their star running back, Aaron Jones, who kicked our ass every time we played them. Every time. He's a 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Aaron Jones missed time, though, with injuries last year, was due $12 million this year. Instead, he hits the free agent market at 29 years old.
Okay.
Packers wanted Aaron Jones to take that $12 million. They wanted to go to $6 million for him. They wanted him to take a 50% pay cut entering his final year of his deal. After he said, fuck you, they released him. So Jones is drawing interest, and everyone's saying he should come to Dallas, right? He's a former player from McCarthy, played with McCarthy, right? Who has accumulated incredible fucking statistical numbers against our Cowboy defenses year after year after year. Guess who's giving interest to Aaron Jones? Not the Cowboys. The Minnesota Vikings, in case you were wondering.
Of course, they are.
The Vikings also are signing quarterback Sam Darnold, a 1-year deal worth $10 million. So you see the backup quarterback range. We got ours for $2.5 million, by the way. Just want to let you guys know when it comes to Cooper Rush. Now, a couple last ones here before I get back.
Sucks because, again, the Cowboys knock it out of the park with those Trey Lance-esque moves. But last time I checked, as much as I love Trey Lance, he's not starting.
Yeah. No, he's far from it, actually. So some last-minute moves here in the last couple of hours. I want to make sure I get that live right now. But the Niners signed Panthers free agent defensive edge Yetur Gross-Matos to a 2-year deal worth $18 million a year. So $18 million total, 9 per year. Free agent kicker Brandon McManus has agreed to sign with the Washington Commanders, a 1-year deal, $3.6 million. Damian Lewis gets a 4-year deal with Seattle. I'm sorry, Panthers signed him, former Seattle guard Damian Lewis, 4-year, $53 million. John Simpson, big man there, signing formerly of the Ravens, now with the Jets on a 2-year deal worth $18 million. So $9 million a year for an offensive lineman. Maybe that's more Tyron Smith numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly. We'll see. And Aaron Rodgers has a new backup in New York. Jets have agreed to terms with Tyrod Taylor. He's going from New York to New York to New York to New York, back and forth. And
at least he doesn't have to move.
One last guy I want to speak on. Titans have agreed to terms with linebacker Kenneth Murray. He's a guy I thought we'd get for like $4 million at linebacker. He's getting $15.5 million on a 2-year deal. That's a max value of $18 million. We're going almost $9 million for Murray? Hell no. I changed my mind on that quick. So that's kind of all the moves of the day. I do want to go back, though, to that one move of the Packers. Because Aaron Jones had to be released because they signed Josh Jacobs. Okay. So how does that change things? I already went through some of the reasons why, right? We know that the Vikings are interested in him. So do the Cowboys, who do they still can go after here in this next day of tampering? Because right now the new running back landscape looks like this.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley with the Eagles. Josh Jacobs with the Packers. Austin Eckler with the Washington Commanders. Tony Pollard with the Tennessee Titans. DeAndre Swift with the Bears. Devin Singletary to the Giants. Gus Edwards, I forgot to mention him. He went to the Chargers, and Antonio Gibson went to the Patriots. So these are the current running backs making moves just on today. So when I look at the Cowboys, do you know how much the Cowboys have open on the salary cap, baby? Right now, $2.2 million. We went into free agency $2.2 million under the cap. Did you really think we were going to spend it on someone today, guys? Really? That's the thing. That's why I said, and I wonder what the poll results are going to be here, but that's why I said I am not surprised. Cowboys going to Cowboy. If they wanted to be in free agency right now, you know what we would have done? Would have easily restructured Dak's contract, which is going to happen. Why don't they do it now? Because they want to say they don't got money. And the CeeDee Lamb extension. CeeDee Lamb getting extended would have opened up another $13 million. $13 million from CeeDee Lamb, another $25 million from Dak. Now we're players again. Oh, wait, that means we have money. That means we can make offers. That means that the Cowboys look exposed and look like they're the ones at fault. Now it looks like the players are at fault.
Yeah.
Because there's $2.2 million open. So, I know Mark Hosepian drops the knowledge here all the time. We always have this discussion. But this is why I told Mark, I don't mind us signing Dak Prescott. Because even if we don't have Dak and we get a rookie or we get a $5 million quarterback, you know what happens? We get Tony Pollard, Tyler Biotish, and Dorrance Armstrong back. That's who we get back, and the rest is saved. The Cowboys don't use that fucking money. So
yeah, Dustin Roberts said it. We'll sign players to fill holes, but it'll just be minimum guys and maybe like a $3 million
thank
a year.
you. That's at best. Those are the best guys when they get $3 or $4 million. We know we rarely go over $6 million since Stephen Jones took over this thing.
Yeah, so even accounting for inflation, that apparently that number is holding true.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, the question is, do you expect the Cowboys to be big players in free agency? The answer is no fucking way. We knew this already. We've been telling you guys this for like a long time now. Again, these deals are, some of these deals are not so huge, even they're day one deals. It's not official till Wednesday is really truly day one, but you get big deals, middle deals, and low deals done right now. You can get these things worked through. So do I expect the Cowboys to be a little more active when it comes to the lower and middle tier free agency than normal? And that's where I say I have to hope so. Yeah. That's the only time I think the Cowboys are going to go a little harder. At the end of this week,
By the
next
way,
week, I think that's when the Cowboys maybe go a little harder than they have in the past. We have holes at left tackle, left guard, either or, right? Wherever we don't put Tyler Smith. If he's at guard, we have a left tackle problem. If he's at tackle, we have a left guard problem. Offensive center, a center problem. Receiver depth, running back issues, defensive tackle issues, edge rusher depth, cornerback. Third outside or second outside corner, not there. Some depth as well. Of course, linebacker, right? So we're going to have, now it's going to force the Cowboys to sign more players now, right? Mm-hmm. Because we're missing so many guys, we have to sign more free agents now.
Exactly.
So we're going to have to make some signings. It's not going to be the names that you guys wanted or that I wanted. I do think Eric Kendricks is a guy that falls into the $3 million range for the Cowboys. And there's a lot of other players that we'll still like, that'll be all right, that we'll sign. Mm-hmm. But there's not going to be any of these top-tiered guys in my humble. Hello. I think we're back. So you were going to say something there.
A little blip there.
Because we're talking about the holes that we have.
Just because I saw a comment here in the chat by Griffin saying, what about cutting Gallup? And just figured out very quickly,
go ahead.
For those of you guys who didn't know, Michael Gallup is expected to be a post-June 1st cut by our Cowboys.
Which means we get the $9.5 million does not hit us until June 1st, which is fine. That is not used for free agency. That is used for rookies and other contracts you're going to get like later on down to fill up the filler stuff. $9 million, $9.5 million, more than enough for us to do that and take that money into the season. So we don't have to worry about holding that money back now. Everything we get now is usable now. Keep that in mind because we're getting that $9.5 million back later. So do I expect the Cowboys the point I was trying to make is that because we have so many holes, center, guard or tackle, receiver depth, running back all around, defensive tackle, linebacker, edge depth, cornerback, we have to sign bodies. We're just going to have to sign new players to replace the guys that are leaving. But here's what's scary, though, baby. Doesn't it feel like the more the Cowboy players start to leave Dallas, like day 1, 3 are gone, and Jordan Lewis is going and others are going, we knew it was going to happen. But the more they're leaving, and the longer that this fucking front office takes to make any moves, it feels that the Cowboys are kind of semi-rebuilding this year. It feels like they're rebuilding in a way. And it hurts my ass.
It does feel like Jerry should have added a little asterisk next to that all-in comment just because, this is the opposite of all-in. This is all out.
Yeah, this is a fallout. Yeah, this is a disaster.
It's hard, again, until you brought it up earlier, and obviously not just now, just in our personal discussions as we're going back and forth, it hadn't really occurred to me. I just kind of assumed, like, the Cowboys are just, doing this, that, or the other. But yeah, I'm just saying, like,
feels like a rebuild.
Yeah, it's obviously fits our typical, usual Dallas Cowboy way of doing things. But even for the Cowboys, this is especially notable. Because we didn't sign our own guys. Like, that's the other kind of little factor here that makes me
usually bring in a couple guys.
Agree with you. Now, I wouldn't call it a full rebuild.
Semi.
But we're definitely, again, in a transitional period. And I think the more surprising part is that instead of maybe doubling down and supporting McCarthy, in a lot of ways, it seems like the Cowboys are just kind of
sinking the ship.
Yeah, fuck
Which is stupid. Why not get Belichick then? Why not make a move now then? Why play a fucking year and waste these guys' careers? I don't get it.
Montana 808 saying, but just shout out to you, by the way, this is Stephen Jones' first year as, like, the GM,
Like the full takeover?
But it's more the fact that he's taken over more of Jerry's responsibilities, and this is his first year kind of really...
soft takeover.
Dealing with that. I mean, you have to imagine that those responsibilities have been slowly but surely transferred over to Stephen, which begs the question, again, if we know where Jerry's yacht is Stephen on it? So
I'm going to guess yes. The family trip they always take.
See, Jones and Cowboys said it. I honestly believe Cowboys are in the process of rebuilding to get a top draft pick. Lame duck coach and season. Obvious clue is Mike Zimmer's 1-year contract.
Yeah, all those points are well said.
Don't worry, we're still going to go 12-5 and get bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
Clown show.
William Bernie said we're going to get bargain bin players in free agency as usual.
Let's
Dustin Roberts said, think Chuma Adoga.
Exactly, that's the big move. $1.3 million last year. That's our backup to. That's the replacement of Tyron Smith coming your way. Look, I believe the draft's probably going to go center guard, and I think that the Duke center guard guy, I think his last name is Barton. I'm positive it is. He's the guy I'm watching at 24 for the Cowboys now with no Biotish. I mean, an offensive tackle now, we got to figure that out. Tackle or guard, we got to bring somebody in, free agent wise or draft. I don't want to put a fourth rounder starting at left guard. I don't want to have TJ Bass starting at left guard or Austin Richards starting at left tackle. That's death. That's death of the run game. Dak Prescott, this offense. So, I don't know. But look, here's what I'm going to say. Finish the show something, at least future thinking, positive. I mean, we all are mad. I do want to know what you all think, though. So let me do that right now. Get your last votes in, guys. And let me know what you want to do when it comes to that poll that we have above. It is a battle going on right now with a lot of pissed off people and a lot of people saying this is what I expected. We got over 119 votes. Should I end it now, the poll, I guess? Or
I mean, you might as well since we're wrapping up the stream.
I kind of want... I'll end it after this. How about this?
Okay.
The Cowboy quiet first day, except for the people that left our team. What players to watch for going forward?
Okay.
Because a lot of guys are off the board now. None of the departures for the Cowboys were a surprise, especially when you see the money they got paid. They were going to be gone. So that's not a surprise. We got to keep this in reality.
All right.
It's about how you fill these new holes now. The Cowboys are never going to match those offers. So how the Cowboys address 3 new losses to this team still remains to be seen. Of course, draft will be part of it, but how about in free agency? Well, with Zach Moss, that the Cowboys were interested off the board, I'm going to mention Aaron Jones as a possibility. Remember, he got $12 million. They want to pay him $6 million. He might be able to get $7 million from the Cowboys, and he'll take it. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Also, another name I didn't mention, baby, but this came up basically before we went live, and it's an interesting name at running back. The Bengals very often, in trouble running back. Joe Mixon was released today. He is a free agent. He's coming off his 4th 1,000-yard season. 4 in a row, 1,000 yards at running back. Free agent at 27 years old, healthy. He had some issues hitting women. He had some issues hitting women again and causing disturbances. So it's definitely red flag time here. But he's another option, right, to throw into the list of free agents that are still available. So here's the guys. I'm going to name you some of the running backs. Tell me what you think. Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, J.K. Dobbins, Deontay Foreman, Kareem Hunt, A.J. Dillon, and even Dalvin Cook. Clyde Edwards-Helaire also in the mix there. So there's like 7 or 8 names that can still help the Cowboys. But you're talking about now $4 million and under on these names, which is exactly where the Cowboys will probably end up signing one of these guys. Now, do you think we're going to get someone like Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones? That would be way out of our price range. All right, so I'm going to put those two names to the side.
Okay.
We're not going to get Henry and Aaron Jones. In my opinion, if we do, it would be a surprise. I would like to, but it'd be a surprise. These are power guys. They provide a lot of greatness. I mean, Aaron Jones can be really good in the pass and the run and the blocking. I mean, we've seen him every time against us. Every time against us. Kill us in every single way. Pass blocking, of course, running and catching screens and killing us. So he can do it all. I would almost take him over Derrick Henry. Because Henry's a little older and he's a little more one-dimensional. But it's something that the Cowboys have to decide on how much they even run the ball as often or not. We also got Nick, Mixon in the mix, so he's another name you can throw in there. But I truly think the Cowboys are going to end up probably looking to other guys. For instance, Cincinnati Bengals defensive tackle, a guy to watch, and he's a guy I mentioned in the past. I'm still going to mention him with Hankins, DJ Reader. Fantastic nose tackle, kind of, could get for under $3 million, in the $3 million range. So DJ Reader, guys, played with Houston, played with Cincinnati last year. To me, he's a guy we can grab. He has some injury history in his background, again, but his talent is something the Cowboys can use to anchor the defensive interior line, helps improve the run defense, and you can still bring in Hankins, and you got Mozzie gaining weight. So I like DJ Reader as a kind of a Stephen Jones signing. When I say his name and I say another name, I think A.J. Dillon is another Stephen Jones signing for the Cowboys at running back. So I would not be surprised if we got Dillon from the Packers, the realistic moves here. Mm-hmm. So A.J. Dillon and DJ Reader. So think of initials. If you hear initials going to Dallas, MCF probably said that. So Reader at a defensive interior nose tackle, big guy in the middle there, and someone like, what's his name? Dillon, right? So I think both these guys would be I'm gonna say upgrade. Would be definitely not losing it like we did today when it comes to the any kind of moves that we can do to for our team to get better, hopefully, right? So again, defensive tackles have been flying off the board. Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins, Grover Stewart, which I love. These guys are gone. So to me, Leonard Williams probably going to Seattle. So he would be available. We'll have to see how much he's getting paid. But DJ Reader is an affordable defensive tackle for the Joneses. And so is A.J. Dillon, running back for the Green Bay Packers. Mm-hmm. There's still some other linebackers floating around that we could still sign, like Eric Kendricks. All these guys I'm talking about are like $3 million to $4 million at most. Can the fucking clown show do something? I mean, I gotta hope they're gonna do something, because after a couple more names go off the board at running back, at linebacker, defensive tackle, a corner, you know what happens after a couple more names go off? There ain't nobody left. Now you're not only bargain shopping, but you're bottom of the barrel shopping. So Cowboys better get a move on tomorrow. They better dock that boat, that yacht, and get to business with this Cowboy fucking front office. Because it is embarrassing, in my humble opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Freaking.
So what are you thinking, the chat thinking about this as we head off into tomorrow's, again, Free Agent Frenzy Day 2 of tampering?
By the way, thank you, Brent Barr. Appreciate that. Dustin Roberts said, that's what I said. A.J. Dillon and someone like Dwan Roberts at left tackle and Eric Kendricks. Yep,
I like that. Ashawn Robinson's out there. I would love to get someone like Ashawn Robinson, but,
Drums and Cowboys said, MCF and MCW, keep your eye on Jonathan Brooks from Texas.
Yes, we talked about the running back.
But coming off of an ACL.
Right, we talked about him, and we talked about him in the third round. The Cowboys really do like him.
And he basically said it. This is absolutely the low ball special for...
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a guy that should be a first or second rounder in the third round, running back, and he could hang it. Again, to me, I think it'll be a combination. I think A.J. Dillon could go in there with Jonathan Brooks, and they could go a 1-2 punch that way, Just remember, the Cowboys want to go cheap. That's the key here.
So, now with that as well, Mr. MCF officially closed the poll here, guys. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and read those results. Thank you to everybody who took the time to vote.
119 people voted and has asked, how do you feel about the Dallas Cowboys' lack of moves in free agency? This is only day one of tampering. But so far, what do you guys think? And what was the number one answer there, baby?
Well, 49% of you guys said it. Pissed off.
I don't blame you guys. I'm pissed off too, but there's one thing for me that was bigger, and that was what I expected.
Yep. 43%.
Oh, okay. That was second. They're right there with it. 6% back. So we are about pissed off, but also expected this shit, and they still pissed
Very
us
few
off.
people, only 6% said bigger moves will happen soon.
I
Basically just saying,
have-
like, you
yeah.
know, the Cowboys are just, biding their time. Just be patient.
That's a lot. That's a real. Again, this is not. I'm not trying to say this is not expected, but it's a real lack of confidence. We had a lot more confidence from our fan base in general. But you can say delusion almost, right? But we had more confidence in our fan base in the past. We make a move, right? No, 6% believe that will happen. That's a lot of people do not think to expect much from this front office in free agency. And you know what? You're right, because what have they shown us? Not a goddamn thing in free agency. The Cowboys, the front office, Jerry Jones taking fucking trips. Man, I wish I could take a vacation in the middle of my job. That'd be great. So, anyways, baby. I guess it's time for the shout-outs as we wrapping this baby up tonight.
Yes, it is. So,
and maybe do a little after dark, a quickie after dark tonight. Just myself, and I. Maybe be doing that tonight. We'll see how things go. But it is late. So, baby, let's do those shout-outs. And, any quick comments you may catches your eye.
well, of course, first of all, everybody here, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop in the Discord, links down below in the description box. And thank you very much to Chalk to Montana 808, Tokyo, Burn Bar,
Hey, I said the
Matt
same-
Batten,
we said the
Louis
same
Ortiz,
thing, yeah.
Drums and Cowboys, Dustin Roberts, Griff 181, Matt Batten,
I'm with you, Matt. I got to see it to believe it.
Apocalyptic Cowboy, Dustin Roberts, Louis Ortiz. Give me a second, guys. Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody here. Asmodeus, of course, much love. Sea Bass. Let's see. Jaster.
So, Jason.
Yeah. AL. Yeah, that's as far back as it lets me go, so.
Well, I know Freedom was not first. Dwayne Broussard was. I also remember that we have some shout-outs to give when it comes to those that drop the love from above, like Jason Renfro all over the board, gifting memberships in the lead this week. In the lead in the Cash App side. Much love to Jason Renfro. Dwayne Broussard with the pre-stream drop. Tammy Soltis back in the membership, Navy Blue Crew. Colin Richard dropping a couple fives on it. Mark Hovsepian moving right up the board as he always does. Queenie from Canada dropping a 2. And A. Lavelle dropping a 2-0. And he's in first place currently on our overall board. Sponsor of the week, you know what that is. It's Jeremy Bramlett, the brand man, who's also the stream boss with 17 points and the gifting champion. We'll see what happens this week. Jason's trying to take that away. He's also trying to take McLovin's crown 5 weeks in a row as the Cash App King. Jason's in the lead for that right now. And on the overall board, like I said, A. Lavelle in first place with Jason Renfro and Marco Seppian right behind him. Calvin Richard as well. Appreciate you all for repping it here with us, whether it was drops of knowledge or love. Can't do this without you guys in the house. So, baby, before we can officially get on out of here, say goodnight, why do we tell a family why we do this each and every night here in My Cowboys Family?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Yeah, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly here on this channel. Here on MCF, we rep that star over everything. And here for over 6.5 years, almost 7 years on YouTube. Here on My Cowboys Family, never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. We'll see some of you guys on the After Dark session. So we'll join you for that for a little music relaxation chill time here in late night style. And, of course, cannot do this without your guys' drops of love from above. Truly humbled by the best fans of all YouTube. On that note, it is time to officially clock out of here and drop out of here on My Cowboys Family for the night and relock and reload for tomorrow, another show. This time we can do that. I think this week we're going to go all week this week, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Getting this, well, it's aggravating right now. Hopefully it'll be a little more fun every day. We get a little more knowledge of what the Cowboys are truly going to plan going forward for this year. It feels that they're almost kicking it away. It's a wasted year. It feels like at least day one. I'm not going to be too judgmental. Let's see what the Cowboys do the rest of this week, because we knew it was going to be like this on the first kind of glimpses. The Cowboys are going to hold that money tight. So we kind of expected this. But I appreciate everybody who voted. Thank you guys for dropping in here and chilling with us. And, of course, the drops of knowledge and love. Can't do this without you all. But it is time to get on out of here for the night. Before we do that, though, let me hit up the man, Mark Hovsepian, who dropped that 5 on it. The $5 holler. And he is now over Jason Renfro. I'm pretty sure, yep. He jumps over Jason Renfro into second place. What did the man Marco Sepian have to say?
He said, Jerry Jones thinks our guys are good enough, and we will draft great players. Watch, thinking, I'm not sure who's that's supposed to be, but thanking Gilmore, leave Northern, he'll re-sign Dak and Jack with the cash. Mark, I have to admit, I'm not really sure what you're trying to say there.
Watch thanking, and some another player that thanking and Gilmore leave.
Stefan, maybe? No, Stefan is Gilmore.
Who's the other guys that we want to keep here? I don't know why I can't remember.
Sure. I have a feeling he's using some voice to text, and it's
it's coming out a little bit
not
weird.
Accurately translating his.
We got Tyron Smith. Maybe is that it? No, I mean it is with a T. So maybe Tyron Smith is who I'm thinking. Letting him go with Gilmore. These are the guys that are still out there that we probably want to keep here, right? So Gilmore, cornerback, and Tyron Smith, offensive tackle. Those would be that would help me feel a little better if we can fill in that third cornerback or the outside corner. We could fill in the left tackle starting spot. All we have to worry about is a backup, for that spot. That would help us feel better going to the draft and into the rest of this free agency. But we haven't even done that shit yet. By the way, Mark, appreciate you. Second place, Jason, officially in third on the overall board as we're departing here in a couple of minutes. But yes, baby, I got as we continue again. 12 points, a Roger Staubach for Jeremy Bramlett up there. Appreciate you, Mr. Mark Hovsepian. But baby, as we get ready to close it down, and hey, you can join us, Mark. You can definitely join us on our MCF After Dark channel. That's a lot of fun. Sometimes you can handle some of the language and some of the back and forth. It gets crazy. But guys, appreciate you all. Truly do. We'll be back here tomorrow to continue the discussions on this free agency frenzy that's not happening to our team. One of the few teams, I think there's 2 or 3 teams that haven't made a move yet. They got anybody on their team. We're one of them. So we'll see if that changes tomorrow. I do suspect it will change. But I don't know if it's tomorrow. Just sometime this week, I believe we'll get a couple of guys. We have to, because we don't have enough players on this team right now. So thank you all for dropping the knowledge from above, the love from above, the knowledge in the chat. And baby, before we can drop out of here for the night, tell everybody what we got to do.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. The beat's been dropped. Thank you to all watching with us here. Wrapping up another highly informative Free Agent Frenzy Cowboys chat right here on MCF. Talking about Jerry and Steven, MIA, it seems like. It feels like. We see we lost 3 players in the meantime. A rotational starter, like Dorrance Armstrong, I guess. And then 2 starters, no doubt, at running back and at center. Big losses there. Will they rebound tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see. But for tonight, we've discussed it all and more here at MCF. It's always about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. Never, ever dare forget the number one thing here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to all of you in the house watching, chilling, and hitting that like button here with us on this stream, improving our analytics, hitting that subscribe button if you're new, growing the family, growing the channel, growing the subscribers, 34.2 and beyond K. Never did I think we have a family that big here on YouTube. And of course, hit your notification bell and move it to all videos. Turn it on to all videos. Follow us at My Cowboys Family on all social media, Twitter, X, Discord, and of course, the rest of the information is all written in the description. Thank you all for joining us for another one. Stay safe. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another one. And never, ever forget, go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat.